I know that having an extremely long manga TBR is something of a meme in the manga community, but this year, I'm a man on a mission. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Promji. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, today, I'm going to be doing something that is very frightening to do. Today, I'm going to be looking at my manga TBR for 2022. The manga TBR, or to be read section of our manga collections, is something that a lot of people like just putting off to the side and forgetting about the scary thoughts of just the sheer amount of stuff that we haven't read. So I decided that this year in 2022, one of my New Year's resolutions was going to be to completely catch up on my current manga TBR. What this means is that basically every single manga volume that I have in my collection at the time of the new year, I will have read by the end of the year. And of course, I'm going to keep buying manga as the year goes on, but all of those volumes and series aside, everything I had at the beginning of 2022 when I'm making this video, I will have read by the end of the year. That is a promise. So today in this video, I'm going to be showing off all of the manga that I hope to complete by the end of 2022, this year's manga TBR. But if you guys do enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Also, this may seem like kind of a silly question, but I want you guys to go down to the comments below and let me know, do you prefer manga collecting or manga reading? Obviously, we buy manga to read, but out of the two aspects, do you like collecting manga or reading manga more? Let me know down below. But without any further ado, let's get right into this year's manga TBR. Alright, so starting off my 2022 manga TBR, we have Emma by K.R. Mori, volumes 1 through 5 in these beautiful, beautiful yen press hardcovers. Honestly, this was one of my Grail series for 2021. I was able to complete it at the later part of the year, and I'm really excited to get into K.R. Mori's stuff because I hear she has some amazing historical fiction as well as some stuff we'll get into a little bit later. I'm pretty sure that Emma follows this Victorian era story where a maid falls in love with like a prince or some kind of royalty. I really love that whole Victorian era setting as well as this dynamic between the two characters that is taboo. Seems really interesting to me, so I'm really looking forward to getting into Emma very, very soon, probably in the coming month. Next to that, we have volume 1 of A Bride's Story. Now, obviously, I'm going to have probably read more than just volume 1 of A Bride's Story, but again, a series by K.R. Mori that I'm really excited to get into. I've heard a lot of praise about Bride's Story. Any of you guys have read this? Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Next to that, we have a one-shot called Anything and Something, again by K.R. Mori. Love this cover and spine, by the way, but yeah, I think this is just a collection of short stories. I've heard mixed things about it, but hopefully I'll read this after I get into Emma and Bride's Story so I can have a little bit more context for Mori's style in storytelling. But yet again, really excited to get into this one. Also a pretty hard book to find, so very lucky to have this. Next up, we have Message to Adolf by the GOAT, Osamu Tezuka. This is a series I put off reading for the longest time, but as you can see by my bookmark there, I'm a little bit over halfway done with the first volume, so I still have to read the rest of this one and volume 2, but so far, I'm really enjoying it. The story basically follows a handful of characters in their lives. These two children, one's a Jew, one is related to a Nazi, and the third obviously being the Führer Hitler himself. We also have this mystery aspect following this reporter whose brother was murdered. He had some secret information about Hitler, so very interesting to say the least. A lot going on. I love the historical setting. You know, historical fiction is a great genre and one that I'm looking to get more into as the year goes on, as you can tell by the K.R. Mori stuff. But yeah, I should finish this pretty soon here in the coming month or so, and overall, I'm really enjoying this one so far. Next up, we have number 5 by Taiyo Matsumoto, one of my favorite mangas of all time. Again, these brilliant volumes just look so clean. I've heard lots of great things about number 5, and I'm basically just waiting for the rest of the volumes to come out before I binge this series. I have the 3rd volume on the way, and then the 4th and final volume, I believe, will be coming out pretty soon here this year. So yeah, not too concerned about finishing this one this year because it's basically a given. I love Taiyo Matsumoto. His artwork is fantastic, and just his storytelling is really something unique. So I've heard this one is pretty bizarre, as are most of his series, so again, very excited to get into number 5. Next up here, we have a few miscellaneous volume 1s. We have Heavenly Desire, which is actually gifted to me for free by a viewer of the channel. I really do appreciate when you guys send me stuff, a series that you guys enjoy that you think I will like, so I'll have to get into Heavenly Delusion pretty soon here. I've heard some good things about it, actually, as a matter of fact. Then we have volume 1 of Happiness, I want to get into more Shuzo Oshimi stuff this year, including this series that I've really put off just because I hate vampires and blood. I'm super squeamish, believe it or not. And next to that we have basically the exact opposite. We have a feel-good rom-com series, Horimiya, which again I've heard some great things about this one as well. Found this volume for about half price, so I want to give it a decent shot. Next to that we have volume 1 of Offered, with art by Ryuichi Ikegami and story by Kazuo Koke, the author behind Lone Wolf and Cub. You guys know I love Ryuichi Ikegami's artwork, super classic vintage feel that just can't be beat. I actually just got a message from a follower on Reddit that he had the second volume of this series, the second and final volume, at his local store, so he might actually go and scoop that for me so I can have this completed series. Hopefully that actually comes to fruition, fingers crossed. But again, I'm looking forward to getting into more, vintage Ryuichi Ikegami illustrated manga. I've heard Offered is a pretty decent one. But next to that, we have some volumes of Spy Family, which is a series that needs basically no introduction, a super popular Shonen Jump series at the moment, and one that I've actually started recently. I've read the first 2 volumes, and then this is just the rest of what I have to read. Currently, I think there's 6 or 7 volumes out, so I have to get those if I still end up enjoying it. But so far, I love Spy Family. It's a great series with a perfect blend of action, comedy, and just some really good, feel-good, cute aspects. Love this series, and I anticipate it being in my top 20 by the time I get caught up with it. Next to that, we have the Behemoth, the volume that we've waited over a year, probably almost 2 years for, Vinland Saga Volume 12. Now, I would say that I'm looking forward to getting into this right away, but I just want to savor this because we don't get these volumes very often. So I'm probably going to savor this one, having it in the collection before I read it right away, probably a couple months. But again, rest assured, I will have definitely read this by the end of 2022. Super excited that we're in the final arc of Vinland Saga, and yeah, not much else to say about this. Really excited to get into this one. Alright, so next up on my Manga TBR is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Now, as you guys know, I was recently blessed with these absolutely beautiful manga box sets, and I've actually started reading Dragon Ball this month. As you can see here, we have all the volumes inside. I've currently read up to volume 7, so I'll have to read 7 through 16 to complete Dragon Ball, and then that leaves 26 volumes of Dragon Ball Z. So far I'm really enjoying Dragon Ball. I can definitely see all the influences that it's had on manga to come in the shonen demographic, but I really am excited to get into Dragon Ball Z just because this is what I'm more familiar with when it comes to stuff that I watched as a kid, the characters that I've come to love playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, and just getting to know the Dragon Ball universe as a whole. So yeah, super excited for Dragon Ball Z and finishing up Dragon Ball pretty soon here. Let me know where you rank Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in your personal shonen rankings. I've heard some mixed things about it. Some people love it and some people think it's really overrated. So far, I'm absolutely loving it and I cannot wait to finish it this year. Alright, so coming here to the second half of the TBR for 2022, the first thing we have here is Satoshi Kon's Dream Fossil. This is a collection of stories by Satoshi Kon, and I believe this is actually the only thing in English by Satoshi Kon that I have not read yet. I read Opus, Seraphim, and Tropic of the Sea. Let me know if I'm forgetting any, but I actually got this as a Secret Santa gift for the manga Secret Santa thing that we did for some manga tubers. I got this from Tony. I'll leave her channel in the description below, but yeah, love Satoshi Kon. I'm really excited to get into this one. I was just hesitant on buying this because I didn't really enjoy Tropic of the Sea, which is the most recent thing I read by Satoshi Kon, but now I have absolutely no excuse to get to Dream Fossil. So thank you again for that amazing gift, Tony, and yeah, moving on to the next thing, we have volume 1 and 2 of Solo Leveling. I know you guys are gonna get mad that I haven't read this yet, and I think even the third volume is out now, but I've just put off reading Solo Leveling. I've heard it's absolutely amazing. I think like in the top 20 or 30 on my anime list, and it's not even a manga, so what does that tell you about it? But yeah, beautiful colored artwork, has high recommendations from friends and fellow people in the community. So yeah, again, no excuse not to get into this one. I guess I'm just kind of put off because I don't really know how the reading experience is going to be, being a webtoon in like book format, but we'll see. Again, I will get to this year, I promise. Next up, we have Shortcuts, which is a pretty recent pickup for me. This is again a collection of short stories A pretty rare set to come across, I believe, especially Volume 1, but just some really sexual, ridiculous comedy comics, I guess, and that shouldn't be too long, but again, just something pretty out there that I was kind of putting off reading until now, but again, I will get to it this year. Then we have Skryed, Volumes 1 through 5. I love these spines. I mean, they might not be the most interesting besides these characters, but they still look pretty darn cool. Now, I've heard some things about the anime, and I've heard that this manga adaptation isn't that good compared to the anime, which isn't that great to begin with. But then again, I've heard some good things, and I also really love this artwork. Hope you guys can see it decently well. It's kind of hard to show it off, but yeah, Skryed. If you don't know too much about this, but again, should be a pretty short read that I can knock out pretty quickly this year. Then the final thing that I have to read for 2022 in my TBR currently is Volumes 1 through 15 of GTO The Early Years. Again, a pretty hard to find set. GTO is just super out of print, 14 days, original and GTO Early Years, of course. That we have right here. I just read 14 Days in Shonen. I really enjoyed it, and I've obviously have read GTO this past year, so now I just have to read volumes 1 through 15 of GTO Early Years, and I'll be done with GTO. Really excited to read this, as I've really been enjoying what I've read of GTO, and of course 14 Days, which I finished recently. So yeah, this will probably be the main thing that I try to knock out this year, being the most lengthy, I guess, and obviously one of the most critically acclaimed things, probably in my entire TBR. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this shelf. I'll bring it back to myself in present time. See you there. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, showing you guys all of the manga that I hope to read in 2022, excluding the things that I buy throughout the year. But hopefully everything I showed you today, I will have read by the end of 2022. If you did enjoy today's video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga bangers just like this. So yeah, this has been The Problem G. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope to catch you in the next one.